Hello, this is Josh with Right Track Systems, and today we're just going to go over in a short video on how to properly get measurements for your tires so that we can build a track for your machine. Quickly go over the things you're going to need. You're going to need a level, you're going to need a tape measure, possibly a soft tape if you have one, a paint pen, and then 2 straight edge pieces. So you're going to get emailed a sheet of paper, and it's going to have 6 different measurements that you're going to have to get, labeled A, B, C, D, E, and F. We'll go over A quickly. It's width of the tire face, the tread only. So you're going to want to grab your tape measure. You want to line it up with the edge of the tread and measure to the edge of the other side of the tread. So for me, I have 9 inches on this one and 9 inches on that one. So I'm going to take my pen, I'm just going to write in here 9 inches. So for part B, we're going to have width of the individual tire, the sidewall to the sidewall. So the sidewall sticks out a little bit farther than the tread. It's not an imperative that you get this measurement perfectly correct, but we still need it. So you're going to want to hang it over till it's about hanging over the width that it sticks out from the tire tread. And you're going to come over here, and I have roughly 11 1/4. So I'm going to write 11 1/4 here. Next is the C measurement, overall width of the dual tires, the tread only. So you're going to measure from the far tread to this tread here, and I get a measurement of 22 1/4. I'm going to write 22 1/4 here. Measurement D is the space between the dual tires, tread only. So you're going to grab your tape measure, and you're going to measure from this tread to the inside tread, and I have 4 1/4. So I'm going to write 4 1/4 here. And you're going to quickly look, 2 times A plus D will equal C. So if this measurement and these two don't add up, something's wrong, and you're just going to have to recheck your measurements. So I'm going to go 2 times A plus D. So 9 plus 9 is 18, plus 4 1/4 is 22 1/4. So we know we have those measurements right. Next, and the most important, is getting the circumference or diameter of the tire. We can do either. As long as we have the diameter or the circumference, that's all that matters. So to get the diameter of the tire, that's the width across the center of the tire. So you're going to want to grab your 2 straight edges, and you're going to want to grab a level. You're going to put the level onto your straight edge and make sure that the level is level, or the piece is level, sorry. You do that for both sides. Mine are leveled up. And then you're going to take your tape measure and measure from the inside to the inside of your straight edges. And I have 42 1/2 here. So that's going to be the diameter of the tire. So you're going to write, if you're getting the diameter, you write D equals 42 1/2. To get the circumference, there's 2 ways you can get the circumference of the tire. If you have a soft tape, you can lay it on the ground, and you can have the truck back over the soft tape until it's sticking out of the front side, and then you're gonna wrap the tape fully around the tire until it gets to the other side, and where they meet up is gonna be the circumference of your tire. Obviously I can't show you that in this video without driving the truck or lifting it up, but and then there's a third method that you can do, which involves your tape measure and a paint pen. You're gonna get down, and you can see where the tire starts touching the ground to the other spot the tire starts touching the ground. You want to take your tape measure, and you're gonna measure that out. So I get 9 inches. So half of 9 inches is 4 1/2. So I make a line at 4 1/2, and then you'll either drive forward or in reverse until this line gets to the exact same position, and then you can measure on the ground from line to line, and that will also give you the circumference of the tire. Now that we've gone over how to get those 6 measurements, oh, one other thing you want to do is your tires might have different tread depths. You want to go to the tire that has the most tread on it and measure that one, because even a little bit on the circumference can throw out the track by an inch in the end. So you just want to make sure you go to the tire that looks like it has the most tread left. Next, you will get emailed the second part to this sheet, and that will just go over any clearances that you're going to have to make sure that we can build a track for your truck that will not have any clearance issues or anything like that. So the first thing you want to look for is that you have 5 inches of clearance from any fenders or mud flaps. So this one doesn't have any, but if you do have fenders, you just want to take your tape measure and measure 5 inches up from the top to the fender, anywhere around the outside or the front of the tire. Make sure you have that 5 inches of clearance. And then for your mud flap holders, same thing. You want to come back here and measure 5 inches out. If you don't have the 5 inches, you might just have to modify your mud flap holder just to come out a little bit to make it fit. And then if you come back to the sheet, we're going to have one of the most important parts is 3.5 inches of clearance from the sidewall of the tire to any pieces on the body or suspension. So I brought out a tire guide just so you guys can get a kind of a visualization of what I'm talking about. So over here we have the end piece of the guide. This sticks down 3.5 inches. So you want to make sure that when you're measuring, you measure down 3.5 inches from the edge of your tire and then measure out from the tire at 3.5 inches. So right here I have this shock that's sticking out. I would measure 3.5 inches down, which puts me right on line with this here, and I see that it's below, so my 3.5 inches of clearance here is perfectly fine. So if you have anything in this lower area, it won't matter. All that matters is the first 3.5 inches of the tire don't have anything that impedes there. Anything lower, it will not hit on anything that the tracks we have. It's just so that there's clearance for this guide so that it does not rub on anything on the inside of your tire. Other than that, that's everything that we need to go over today. If you guys have any questions or need to clear anything up, you can email or call us and we'll go over everything. All right, thanks, bye.